Welcome to Jones and for Sports, where we make sports better.
What is good, y'all? It is your boy Jones, and welcome to another episode of Locker Room Sunday. Very special episode because it is the last episode as far as this season goes. Not the end of Locker Room Sunday, just as far as this season goes. But before we get into our Super Bowl picks and all the things that have led up to that moment, first we have to thank each and every one of our followers on Instagram and our supporters on Instagram for getting us to 10,000 followers. 10,000 followers. Took 3 years to get it, but that's just how it is sometimes. It's a slow grind, but over time, we've reached 10,000 people to, like what we do. So we're going to keep it going, and we want to thank each and every one of you guys, especially our patrons, for supporting us and getting the early deals and things like that. So wanted to shout out each and every one of you guys. Well, not always do we have a special guest on the show, but you guys seen this guy before. He's on the E and J Full Court Shot podcast with your boy E. What's up, E? He here to talk about some Super Bowl shit. He had to make it to this show. He's been MIA the whole season because his Broncos haven't been looking too good. But we'll let him rock with that one. We'll let him rock. We're gonna get his ass on next year, no matter how bad his team is. He won't have to sit and deal with it because guess what? I did, E. I did. I had to sit here every week and talk about my trash ass fucking Cowboys on. So next year you're gonna be on this show talking about your trash ass Denver Broncos. But let's get into what we came to talk about. First, let's get into the little rumors that we've been hearing just coming out about Andrew Luck missing football. There was some text between people that are close with him, and he misses football. So my first thoughts, not a surprise because, I think we all said that we saw him coming back after a few years because he just retired too early. So just quick thoughts on that, Lou.
Yeah, you pretty much said it. He retired way too early in most people's opinion. Andrew Luck doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who would just retire on a whim, and there wasn't any sort of Shazier style injury that forced it. So
right.
You'd have to think, and not to mention, he's way too young to not be able to come back, get back in shape, and just keep doing what he was already fucking doing. Not to mention the best Colts O-line he'll probably ever have if he does.
Right.
He's got weapons, and he has two good running backs. This is the time to come back. They're a playoff team already.
So let me ask you this real quick. When do you see him coming back?
They don't have a quarterback now, so why the fuck not make it this year? You got plenty of time to get in shape.
Exactly. I was going to ask Steve, but he is off camera now. But yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be back very soon. If not this year, it'll be next year. E, what are you thinking about Andrew Luck possibly?
To agree with what Luke said, still that young, it's not like he went through years and years and that NFL life. And I'm pretty sure his body feels rested now, and he's just starting to miss the game. So, why not?
So, we'll keep you guys updated as the news keeps trickling through social media and shit like that. But that'll be off-season news that we'll talk about. So now we get into the Jones and for Smoke section of this episode, and the smoke is for Brett Favre. I'm sure everybody went out of Houston, and I forgot what his quote was, but he said something along the lines as, I'm from the old school. We didn't do those things back then. We were paid a lot of money to play wherever we're drafted out. It's like that. Yet, you are the same guy who did that to the Packers and got your way out of there and went to New York and did the same thing and then went to the Vikings. Same guy that's saying this. So I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, Brett. What are you talking about? Yes, I would have agreed with you if you would have just stuck at the old school part of it. Yes, that was how they did it old school. They stuck with their team that they were drafted for the most part. But you didn't do that. You saw Aaron Rodgers on your back, ready to come in. The hype was there. They saw you starting to decline. And you were like, nah, fuck that. I'm still Brett Favre, whatever, and forced your way out. I think you even retired at one point just to force your hand, and you got what you wanted. And now you're mad at a young lot of football to go. For him, yes, he got paid, but he sees why. There's a reason why he doesn't want to be there. It's not because he's just being selfish, and he didn't pull a James Harden. He saw that he couldn't trust the organization that he was playing for. Not because they sucked or anything like that. That's probably part of it. He probably wants to still also compete for championships because he's that good. He just got paid the second highest a quarterback got paid in NFL history. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you guys told him one thing, and you have said some outlandish things when it comes to your players and how they should handle themselves when it comes to football and business. You said some crazy things. So Brett Favre, you're all the way wrong on this. You need to back up your words or just shut the fuck up. Straight like that. Back your words up or shut the fuck up because you look like a clown. And I've seen everyone clowning you, and I just don't get it. I'm one of the biggest Brett Favre fans you can imagine. I love Brett Favre growing up, but you're wrong on this one. So shut the fuck up. Let the young man be in control of his future. Just because you decided to do it late, don't be mad at him. He's in control of his future, not the owner. Same back in the day. This is a whole new era. It's 2021 now.
My thing with this situation is the dude committed to the franchise by signing the contract, yes. But I understand him wanting out now after one, you traded his best and got nothing back for it to worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Fire the coach and GM don't even bring him in on hiring people that's gonna basically you gave him no involvement of seeing what his future is.
After you told him you were.
I don't see what the fuck is going on. Why do I want to stick with your star players? You're all probably the best player you had in that franchise. JJ Watt goes up to him to the last game of the season and tells him, "I'm sorry, we wasted one of your years."
Yep. It's crazy.
And he this is my part. Everybody preaches loyalty to these athletes. The NFL is the one sport of all where I don't blame the athletes for not being loyal to franchises.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100% on that. And not to mention, in the world that we live in now, where social media is such a huge thing and such an influence, they're seeing what's happening in the NBA. They're seeing these players getting their control. It's a players' league in the NBA. It never was in the NFL, but someone's got to start to push the button to where maybe not have as much control as the NBA players do, but at least have a little bit more control. Especially in a situation like Deshaun Watson, where struggle in Houston for the next 5 years or how long he plays there. No one wants to see that because he's so good of a player. No one wants to see that. So, and Brett Favre, you don't want to see that. As a Hall of Fame quarterback, you want to see the best players be on some of the best teams and compete for championships. Me and Luke talked about it on the last episode. Houston's not going anywhere. It's not going to change anytime soon. Unless they start to make moves with Deshaun Watson being traded. And you know that, Brett Favre. You know that. So, Luke, you got anything on that? Go ahead.
Not really. No, y'all pretty much
They
covered
don't even have a first.
anything I would have said. So
I just wanted to add. Just want to say they don't even have a first round pick to give him. So like, hey, this is the guy.
Exactly.
The Texans are in a top free agent destination.
No, hell no. Especially after the past few years. Everyone's seen it go down the drain. There's no way. No one's thinking about that. And you mentioned them. J.J. Watt is probably on his way out too. You know, so what the fuck is he staying there for? What is he staying there for? So, Brett Favre, you need to shut up or get with the program. It's 2021 now. So, now moving on to the next segment, which is the big trade of the week was the Rams and the Lions. I see he's shaking his head about this, so I'm eager to hear what you have to say about this. What are your thoughts on that trade?
Stafford was the person I had high on my board. I'm happy about that. I'm not a big Jared Goff guy, but I gotta give him credit. The guy, you know, he did win. He did go to a Super Bowl. He hasn't been the same since. A lot of people give most of the credit to Sean McVay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got to look at it too. Matthew Stafford, in the beginning part of his career, did he have Megatron, of course? But the guy's still been putting up those numbers, and the Lions haven't been a good team in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe putting him there. The Rams do have some weapons out there. I think it's a good pickup for
Yes.
And for the Lions. You get a young quarterback back, and you get the draft picks where you don't have to reach for a quarterback who isn't ready now. But having Goff, you'll still have a young guy who's been to a Super Bowl already.
Yep, experience. Right, Luke. What are your thoughts?
So let me preface the trade. The Rams had reached out to Houston about Watson, and they wanted everything that the Rams don't have, which is high draft picks, and they did not want Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the second option, which was, okay, we can get Stafford. It was at least a decent to good quarterback, and in return, got rid of Goff, where clearly that relationship with McVay had just turned to a raging pile of cat shit, and that couldn't have been fixed. So, I mean, you overpaid, but this is what the Rams do. They will overpay for whoever they want or for whatever situation they want. This is just classic Rams.
Seen it the Super Bowl year.
Right.
Absolutely.
But you also said Goff's been to a Super Bowl. Did he play well in that game? No, not at all. No one in that game played well. Kickers included.
Right.
But he's been there, which means
exactly.
High leverage playoff games, I guess.
Right. It's on the resume.
So it's not like it's a trade. It's just Stafford needed a change of scenery more than any other quarterback not named Deshaun Watson in the entire NFL. Goff, we saw this coming. I wouldn't have given up as many picks.
Right. Big contract. You got to live up to the hype.
Listen, most quarterbacks don't. I'm not going to fault Jared Goff or most unless you're a fucking Tom Brady. Andrew Luck live up to the hype. There's certain quarterbacks.
Right. There's a few that do. Right. There's only a few that do. And no, I agree with both of you guys. The Rams definitely won that trade because they have Sean McVay was part of the reason, and he also had a lot of weapons. He also had a defense that was going to give him the ball back. He had a lot in his favor. Now you put a better quarterback in Matthew Stafford, who, like he said, has still put, even though his team was trash forever, still put up good numbers. Still put up good numbers every year. So now with a much better team, something to actually fight for. His almost every year, unless that team just mentals. But they'll be, if they keep that defense together and they keep those weapons, they'll be in the playoff contender.
Complete opposite division of the NFC East, where they're just not make a luck into a playoff spot.
Because I've always been a fan of him, and you always want to see, like we said earlier, the point that I made earlier about Brett Favre and Deshaun Watson. You want to see good quarterbacks in good situations. You want to see them waste their careers in fucking Cleveland forever. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously Cleveland has turned it around. They finally found the answer, but it took them a very long time. And you just don't want to see good quarterbacks waste their talent. So Matthew Stafford is on the tail end of his career. So now he's got a few more good years left on him. Now he can actually, maximize his potential. So I'm happy to see what he'll be able to do under Sean McVay and those weapons in that defense.
But here, let me say one thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to sit here and pretend? So Matthew Stafford at one point early in his career had a generational wide receiver with Calvin Johnson.
Yep.
Right? Then at his peak, beyond that, had Marvin Jones, rookie Kenny Golladay. He just this past year got a capable dual threat running back because Theo Riddick was only a receiver. He was never a between the tackles kind of guy. And his best tight end was Brandon fucking Pettigrew.
Yeah.
Now, here's my concern. Robert Woods is clearly going to be the first read on most of his plays. Cooper Kupp, I'm worried about because Stafford has never had a capable slot receiver. Ever. That's not the system he was born in. That's not how they operated, which is why they suck. But Cooper Kupp, for what it's worth, good player, use him. Higbee and Gerald Everett is also going to reap the benefits of this because he's twice the athlete that fucking Pettigrew was, with better hands, and with Higbee as a compliment, even better. My concern, who's opposite Woods? Are you going to roll with Van Jefferson? Probably. I don't think it hurts to maybe go get one other. You're not going to get Allen Robinson, but like a decent, maybe veteran piece just to keep the weapons rolled out.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. You get another weapon and you put that team back in a good spot. And if I'm soon as I get an opportunity to practice together, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. You got to take advantage of that and not waste it, especially if you're Matthew Stafford. Now let's get into what we came to really talk about. Super Bowl 55. Brady, Mahomes, Chiefs, Bucks. It's going down just in 4 days. Now, before we go into our picks and this game, I just want to say, one, I put out a piece about my hate for Brady, my respectful hate for Brady, and I want to say I hate Super Bowls that have Brady in them because it makes the Super Bowl a little bit less enjoyable for me because now I can't enjoy it because I'm rooting against Tom Brady so goddamn much and he wins every fucking time. And I'm just, the whole time I'm just thinking about, damn, is this motherfucker about to pull this shit off again? Because it's always a close game whether he wins or not. So it's a nail-biter the whole time. So I just want to say that this Super Bowl, I'm probably going to be stressed as fuck because I already got a $200 bet with my pop. So money's on the line. Yes, I did it. I did it again. I bet against Brady again, and I'm going to always bet against
Hold on.
Brady.
Well, you might actually win this bet because it's not.
I might.
But no, but here's the thing. It's not you entering into a fantasy league that I am going to win, so you automatically have a better shot of winning.
This is true. This motherfucker has won back-to-back a total of $700 fucking dollars from our pockets. So, yeah, it's tough. But I'm still going to bet on Mahomes. You guys know that. What are your initial thoughts on this game? E, we'll start with you. You being the guest.
All right.
I already know where you're going. We've spoke about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, all right, I'll tell you what.
Don't make your pick yet. Don't make your pick yet.
I don't know shit. So lay it on.
All right. Don't make the pick yet, though.
I ain't betting this year. I lost money these last 2 Super Bowls. I bet it against both teams, and I fucking lost. And plus, birthday weekend. I don't want to fucking lose money on the Super Bowl on my birthday weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So, I mean, it's definitely a unique one. You got, like, the GOAT and the guy who's at the top of the helm right now going at it.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I didn't think Tampa would even get to the Super Bowl. But I got to give credit to the Arians. But you got to give most of the credit to that GOAT. Like, he proved it. Like, he made, I'm wrong because I said I stuck with Belichick. I thought it was the coaching. But I guess good old Danny Amendola is right. The Patriot way is the Tom shit. And that defense is good, though. Like, that defense is good.
Hell yeah.
As much as I hate the guys on the other side, I got to give them credit. You know, like,
So,
that defense is dynamic.
So let me ask you this now. X factor for the Bucks, X factor for the Chiefs.
I mean, for the Chiefs, the X factor is the guy who fucking torched Tampa in the regular season. That in the first half alone, Tyreek Hill.
First quarter.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
And for the Bucks, it's got to be Chris Goodwin or like a Scotty Miller.
I like that Scotty Miller
You're going
pick.
to key on Mike Evans. Chris Goodwin, like, he makes catches, but there's a time he drops some passes.
Mm-hmm.
This could be the game he really steps out and be like, fuck it, I'm going to take this. And even I got to look at for Tampa too, the tight ends.
True. Very true. My second question for you, based off of your answer, do you think that this time around the Bucks will do obviously I don't think he'll go for another 200.
Tyreek Hill's not having that same type.
He's not going to do that. But do you think the Bucks will be able to contain him this time around? Or do you think he still has a big game?
I still think he does Tyreek Hill type of things, but then again, I feel like that defense has looked pretty good, especially in these playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, you figure now seeing what he did to them in person, now they know what they have to do. I'm not saying they're gonna stop him, but I mean, I just don't see him exploding like that. Obviously.
Last one, under or over 100 yards
For Tyreek,
Yeah.
I think it's about 100. He gets that. The thing with him is most of his plays are the big downfield plays.
Right.
He can have 2 catches and it'll be over 100 already.
Very true. That's why I had to ask that question. So it's are they going to take it away or are they not?
50-plus yard catches and there he's at 100 already.
Yep. All right, Luke. Same question. The first one: who is the X factor for both teams?
I'll start with Tampa. X factor for Tampa is their defensive fucking coordinator and their safeties, because we don't know for sure yet if guys like Winfield are playing. We don't know. I mean, they're the two that played against Green Bay, did a very good job containing Rodgers for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a different animal. This is playoff Brady. I'm sorry.
It's a cheater.
Playoff
yeah.
Mahomes. Right, and this is Tyreek Hill. This is this is a very different animal than what you're used to seeing.
Yep.
For Kansas City, I 100% think it's Sammy Watkins.
I haven't heard that one yet. Okay.
In the way I see this happening, and take with the grain of salt, everything I've predicted about this playoff so far has been so far fucking wrong. But I can imagine Tyreek being a bit of a decoy on deep shots, drawing double coverage and running Watkins behind him, as they shift. Or, God forbid, you leave Watkins on the island, you can get burned.
Mm-hmm.
Quick enough to do it. We know what Kelsey's going to do. We know Hill is going to do Hill things.
Right.
The running backs might play a quarter of the downs for all the fuck we know. But what I will say is if you see Watkins, don't be shocked if he's one-on-one. And don't be shocked if Tampa's forced to stay in cover 2 the whole fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to add, I think another key part for Tampa is going to be those pass rushers.
Absolutely.
Zach Barrett, JPP, and them. Like, if we all know Mahomes is great at extending the play and keeping the play alive, if those pass rushers can get there and not give him the time to throw that ball downfield and stuff, it'll change a lot.
I'm gonna go. I'll start with the Bucks, and it's kind of like what E just kind of said. I won't just say the D line. I'm gonna go with the whole defense as a whole because they have a very big task on their hands. They've already seen this task, and now they failed it the first time. Now they gotta take that same fucking test and pass it again. So I'm gonna go with the defense. I won't say the pass rush so much because the one thing about the pass rush is with Mahomes is he's number 1 against the pass rush. He thrives against the pass rush, so or in blitzes and shit like that. So it'll probably have some type of effect on him, especially losing his one of his best linemen for this game. It'll definitely have effect on him, but it's after that what the defense does. Once they force him out the pocket, what are they going to do now with Kelsey and Hill? Those 2 first, you got to worry about those 2, and then those other guys are going to have to get open. They're going to have to, and that leads me to my next point. For the Kansas City Chiefs, the X factors are those other guys. Not Hill, not Kelsey. We know they're going to do what they have to do. They're going to do what they are supposed to do. It's almost impossible to stop them. But those other guys, when they aren't open, are they going to step up and be open and make those big plays for them? And the second thing for the Chiefs is that defense as well. I think that defense hasn't gotten enough credit this playoffs for what they've done on that side of the ball. They've also have been able to force some turnovers and things like that against good quarterbacks. So that defense is also going to have to step up. But I definitely expect it to be a high-scoring game. And I forgot what else I was going to say. E, you was going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Go with your point.
Yeah, so I definitely expect it to be a high-scoring game. I also expect there to be some turnovers, a little bit of defense, and it's going to be a good one. So,
by the way, we're forgetting one thing here.
What is that?
Well, actually, a couple things. One, the Chiefs' left tackle is out of this game because he blew his Achilles in the title game.
I mentioned that.
Oh, I must have fucking
Yeah.
Well, either way, number 2, Levante David's a free agent to be. If he can hold Kelsey under 100 yards, you throw the fucking book at him. Because Levante, for years, has been probably the most underrated stud middle linebacker in the NFL. And
Yeah.
I don't trust Devin White, even though he's much quicker. I don't trust him covering Kelsey because Kelsey's that good.
Yeah.
He needs to be David holding every possible inch he can against Kelsey.
You're absolutely right, and that's why I think it's going to be a tough task, no matter what. If you try to double any one of those guys, the other one's going to be open, and that's also going to leave those other guys like Hardman and Watkins to be wide open. But to speak on the Bucks, like you said, I think it was Evans, Miller. Those guys are also going to those other guys, not Evans, are also going to have to step up. Gronk, he's going to have to be the old Gronk of himself. It's going to be a lot of guys are going to have to step up, but I expect to see good football from both of them because they've been great all season pretty much. Now let's get down to the last part, the picks. Where are you going with this one? Are you going to lose some more money this year?
I have no money on the line this year, so I'm going in. They're doing it. I'm tired of going against him. I gotta give him his. I'm giving him his flowers. I'm going with the Bucks.
I respect it.
And it's not because I've never been shy to say I have bias against the Chiefs, being a division rival and all, but it's just for what Brady has been able to do in Tampa thus far. He's not like what we talk about in Full Court Shot about LeBron when he's on a mission. Brady's on a fucking mission.
It is.
And
it's true.
Going against him, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
I was saying in my blog that I wrote, this is exactly how LeBron haters feel. This is how it feels. Because I say proud.
Even to go off what you was doing when you was introing the topic, you said, the Super Bowl's not fun to watch when Brady's on it. This is what LeBron haters feel in the finals.
Yep.
I hate watching finals because LeBron's always there.
Mm-hmm. Both 10.
And there's no way anybody in this world can say this man is not the GOAT.
Right. You can't. Resume speaks for himself. Absolutely. And who you got as MVP and what is the score?
I'm gonna say this one. I know a lot of people feel it's gonna be very high score. I think so too, but not I don't think we're gonna see no 40-something, a 40-something game.
Right.
But I'll say 35-31. Buck. And that GOAT got to be the MVP.
All right, you got it.
I can see it being that final 2-minute drive, him getting the job.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's how he got all his rings, pretty much. That last drive. That's what he's known for. So I wouldn't be surprised at all. Luke, where you going with this one?
Where am I going? Well, that's an answer to that. I am sick and fucking tired of being wrong because I hate Brady and pick against him. I have one game left to redeem myself as someone who claims to do this as a professional. I claim all the time I'm a total fucking idiot. So let's make a couple things clear. However, I'm convinced that because Brady is an evil genius, that he must have used a Chinese guy to hug the Saints or the fucking Saints, to hug the Chiefs barber, and give them all fucking COVID. Number two, everything we said before is true. Brady teams like this, case in point, the Saints put the fucking whoop down on the Bucs twice this year, and then what happened? You ran into playoff Brady, and you took the L. The Chiefs put the whipping on the fucking Bucs. They don't lose twice, especially not in the playoffs. To a familiar opponent with a hurt left tackle And one of their outside backers, Shaq Barrett, who's an absolute monster, is also playing for a contract.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I know.
there's something to be had with stud players playing for their contracts that usually manifests itself well for them in big games. Sometimes it doesn't, but it has a tendency to work in their favor.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I know how much of a monster Shaq Barrett is.
Yeah, absolutely. So who you got as MVP and the score of the game?
All right, I'm gonna start with the score. I'm gonna go. Eve's 35-31 was about right. Just to make it different, I'll go 38-35.
Okay.
I don't see anyone cracking 40. The over-under is not going to go over 100. If anyone is dumb enough to put that bet out there, just jump off a roof. And MVP? That's a great question. Honestly, Cameron Brate.
I got another one. Off Brady, MVP, Leonard Fournette.
Ooh, that's a shock. I like that.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be. Like Mahomes last year had no business winning fucking MVP.
That running back should have.
Yeah.
Like it's time for like the unsung hero.
Right. No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Y'all know where the fuck I'm going with this. I'm going with my homeboy. I'm gonna do it. I'll be that guy. I'll be the brave one to bet against the GOAT. Yes, I will be that guy. I'll do it for you guys. And you'll thank me after. All right? My homeboy and the Chiefs are gonna get it done. I'm not very confident in it. I'm just doing it because I've never voted or rooted for Brady to win the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to start today. I know I've been wrong a lot of times, more than I've been right, but I'm okay with that. Regardless, he's still the GOAT if he loses this, so it won't change the argument. So I'm still going with the Chiefs. I just think they have a better team, and we've seen at least last week the Bucs struggle and Brady throw up some balls and put the Packers in a position to win that game. So they just couldn't do it. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it does, I don't think the Chiefs are that team to let that happen against, because they will put up points in a hurry. So let me start out by saying I'm going to go with a score of 35 to 28. 35-28 Chiefs. And MVP, I'm going to go with Travis Kelce. I think he's going to have a big game because I think based off of the game that Hill had last game, I think that will be the focal point for the Bucs. We're not going to let him get anywhere close to that. So, and they might let off Kelce a little bit, and it's just impossible to fucking guard the guy. So, we all had high scoring games, so I think he's going to be the recipient of that for the most part on the side of the Chiefs. So we all got it. Chiefs, Bucs. I'm Luke. You got any bets on that with anybody?
Fuck no.
You got the GOAT this time, though.
That don't mean shit.
Yeah, come on. Y'all got the GOAT and y'all still not going to bet?
No, here's the
Wait. Listen, I still might get into a bet the day of. That's still not.
We might have a bet your birthday weekend. We just might. I might. Let's see how I'm feeling. We might just. I might send you a text too, Luke.
That's fine. I'm going to justify why the fuck I'm not betting any money. One, I have a party to go to later this year in Vegas, and I need my savings. Two, I want 100% of my fantasy winnings, which you've been paying on time in the agreement that we arranged. So there's no shit there, but I don't want to lose any of that money.
He doesn't want to give back any of the money. You selfish piece of shit.
Thirdly, if I had to make stupid ass bets, I would go drop $1,000 on GameStop stock. But we're not doing that either.
Good point.
Right. So, all I'm saying is, I would rather sit back, let this game happen, and then turn all of my attention to the greatest sport in the world, baseball, which starts in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we definitely going, speaking on that, we'll definitely be getting, obviously, a lot more Take It Deep podcasts. So look out for that. Obviously, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me and E with basketball getting midway through and things are spicing up. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And once again, on behalf of all of us at Jones for Sports, we want to thank you guys for supporting us this far and helping us get to 10K. Now we pushing it for all the other ones. Luke, what you got?
Real quick, to our loyal Patreons, because I'm sorry to you YouTube fucking toots, you don't get fucking premium shit like this. To our Patreons, if you would like to come on an off-season episode of Locker Room Sunday, discuss your team and what they need to do to get right in the off-season, contact myself or Sean on Instagram, preferably through the fucking group chat, and let us know when you're free, who your team is if we don't already know, and just be ready for an educated discussion here.
Exactly. So just because I'm going to do it, I'm calling you guys out already. Freddie, we already know you coming. Nico, you bringing your ass on here to talk about your bum-ass Eagles.
Steve is in.
Steve, you bringing your ass on here to talk about your bum-ass Giants.
He's already in. We already confirmed.
Well, Ozzy, you going to come on here and talk about your bum-ass. He's an Eagles fan, right?
Rams fan.
Rams. Well, actually, no, Ozzy, you might got some, and you came in second place and things, so you might be good.
I got to meet that motherfucker. He beat me.
Yeah, so now you guys can meet. Ozzy was busting all our ass in fantasy, but he lost the last one.
Ozzy bust my ass twice, god damn it.
He bust all our ass, besides the last game against Luke.
Terrible fucking team. I'm sorry. That had to be said. You deserve to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him that last few weeks. It didn't work out for him. But, again, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Locker Room Sunday, Jones for Sports. We make sports better. Peace.
Welcome to Jones and for Sports, where we make sports better.